Okay, let's do a video on what can be powered with the ocean. We have a 1600 watt plug back here in the back, and I have a few things that I'm going to test. I'm going to start off with the light, then I'm going to go to the electric blanket, which I have used before, and then I'm actually going to go to the small vacuum. Well, my dog makes it in every video there. She's 17, 18 years old, can't hear a thing, but she's been a good dog. And here is the next thing I'm going to do, which is 1500 watt heater. And then I'm going to end with an, 1875 watt hair dryer. Now, my expectations are here that it will probably run the hair dryer and just derate it. Probably won't let it draw the maximum amount, but honestly, I don't know what it draws anyway. So, let's find out how we do here. Now, the ocean will shut down. I didn't crawl out the back or anything here. I'm just hoping that I can finish the video before the ocean actually shuts down. It will shut down after 30 minutes, and I started it a while ago and set everything up. Now, the reason I'm using the 1600 watt outlet is because here we can't use that yet. Now eventually we're going to have a power bank, and we're going to have power for 240, and that's going to be able to power your whole house if you want to. But until that becomes active, I wanted everyone to be able to know what can you power with the Fisker Ocean at the current time. So let me set this up here. Should probably do this where I don't trip over it. So I'm going to set that up there, and I'm going to have to walk in front of and behind the camera because it's going to be very hard to know. So we can see here that I have one of those LED bulbs in the lamp, and so we are pulling. Boy, that's really hard for me to read. Can you guys read it? Which my eyes aren't good at all. Okay, if I hold it on that side, it's probably the glare on the sun. You can see it's pulling, 13, 14 watts. So let's unplug that. And let's do the electric blanket. Now, I know what the electric blanket's going to draw once it kicks on here. It's going to draw right at 100 watts. So this is going to kick up to 100 watts. As soon as I turn it on. Okay, I've got it on high, and you can see right there, it popped up to 114 watts, 110. And the way I learned on the electric blanket, it's actually going to cycle on and off, and between 100 watts. I actually thought it would filter down and just draw less watts, but that's not how it works. It just pretty much stays at 100 watts and then, kicks off. After a while, it kicks back on. So that's how that works, no matter what setting you have it on. So now, let's try something that's going to pull a little more power. Now this is a small wet dry vac. It's not a large wet dry vac at all. It's kind of a small one. You can see here, hopefully that's in the video or close to it. Let's see here. Yeah, that's good enough. So I've got that on. Let's turn this on. Probably 500, 600, 700 watts here. Okay, so now you know that you can vacuum out your ocean from the electrical outlet. Alright. Now let's move up to a much bigger test. Put that there. This is going to be a little tricky to do on camera since nobody's helping me. I'm going to plug up the heater. I'd actually like to set it in here. Okay. You can see, hopefully, This is one of those quartz heaters, and this quartz heater should draw right at 14 to 1500 watts most likely, because that's what it's rated for. And you never know exactly what these things are going to pull, and I've actually never tested it, so let's find out. Let's see what we do here. I've got that on. So 1300 watts. Wondering if it's going to get any more than that. Probably not. That's probably as high as it's actually going to go, most likely. Okay, so we are blowing nice warm heat, and we're drawing 1331 watts. Alright, pretty good test. So now you know you can run a heater from that without kicking it off. And the last thing I'm going to try here is the hairdryer. So let's see how we do. Now the hairdryer says, it says 1875, which should mean 1875 watts. And I can't read that, so let's find out what this does. Now, if it actually pulls almost 1900 watts, it should trip the Ocean, but I actually don't expect it to. I actually expect it to just derate it most likely and probably draw maybe 1500 watts. So turn it on. Okay. Either the Ocean shut off or that killed it. Okay, it's having trouble with that. Let's try this. Or maybe I just don't know how to operate the hairdryer. What's that pulling? Oh, that must be on cool. Alright, it's really struggling with the hairdryer. Can't read that. Okay, on a hairdryer, it looks like you're just going to be able to blow cold air if you got a 1900 watt hairdryer. Yep. Okay. Can't handle the hairdryer. So wives, it looks like you cannot dry your hair with a 1900 watt hairdryer in the Fisker Ocean. So get something a little bit less than that. And let's find out what the hairdryer is actually drawing over here. Because, heck, I don't know. Now that is a 15 amp plug. $15.59, $15.61. Okay, that's 422 watts. The Ocean should be able to handle that. Let's try that. 422. What's the best way to do this? Alright ladies, you can dry your hair on low. It will allow it to use 400 watts, but it won't allow it to get up to the 1600 watts. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to cut that off, because the heater ran, you know, and it was pulling almost 1400 watts. And so here on the hairdryer, I'm going to try this one more time. I'm actually going to put it on high. Yeah, and it kicks it off. So what did we learn today? We learned that the 1600 watt outlet in the back can be super useful for quite a few things. And ladies, you may have to use a little bit less hairdryer to get your hair dried. Thanks for watching. Until next time.